So we start with you, Jeff.
Nice.
How does it feel after yesterday? I heard that you had a pretty good day. You won.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. A lot went into that competition prep. You know, I took about 3 months off of social media, about 5 month prep for the whole competition. So, yeah, it felt amazing. Hard work pays off, so it feels great.
And it was your big comeback, right?
Yeah, it was a big comeback. Like last time I competed was like 2 years ago, 2014 Olympia. So I felt a little rusty on stage, but it felt good to get back out there.
Did you think that you were going to win, or was you a bit nervous?
Yeah, of course I was nervous, but I mean the end goal, of course, I wanted to win. So I didn't have anything else in mind but winning the whole competition.
So now something I think everyone wants to know. What's your next goal? Are you going to compete soon again, or?
Next goal is definitely Olympia this year. So let's say I got about like 6-7 months ago. So the prep starts today.
Wow. So no cakes today?
No, I definitely was picking out this morning. Hotel buffet, had to eat, refill.
So what's your first meal after the competition? What did you have?
Oh, I went to the sports bar at the mall. I had like a big burger and a bunch of like barbecue wings, French fries and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I imagine. How long was your diet for this competition?
It was like 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah, I was like bulking for like 3 months and then dieting for like 2.
So you had a drop off from social medias here for a while, and I think everyone wants to know now, are you going to stay in touch on social medias, or are you going to
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
He's going to stay here. That's
Stay
good.
here, yep.
That's good. Okay, so we pass the mic over to Ako. Jag kan ta på svenska med dig då.
Det går bra.
Folk brukar ju känna igen dig från Gladiatorerna, där du har en väldigt charmerande roll, eller hur? Hur kommer det sig att du fick den rollen i Gladiatorerna?
Ja, de valde karaktärerna efter hur man var som person, och jag kanske var lite charmerande då.
Hur många år är det som du har jobbat med Gladiatorerna?
Det är 5:e säsongen som vi har spelat in, så den går ju på tv nu. Så.
Kommer du vara med nästa år igen om det blir någon?
Om det blir så kommer jag förmodligen vara med.
So now we have 2 more athletes on the scene as well. Ashley and Parker, so a big applause for them. We continue with you, Ako. Jag tror att många vill veta, många följer ju säkert dina sociala medier och vet lite hur du tränar och äter och sådär. Men hur ser typ en dag ut i ditt liv med kost och träning? Handlar allt om kost och träning, eller är det hur ser en vanlig dag ut i ditt liv?
Ja, just nu har jag ju öppnat ett gym, så jag är där från 7 på morgonen till 10 på kvällen. Men det blir väl att jag förbereder matlådor och har med mig dem till gymmet, och så tränar jag, håller klasser och äter hela dagarna. Så just nu går jag på en liten bulk, så jag försöker äta upp mig lite.
En liten fågel viskar mitt öra någonting om någon säng eller madrass, eller vad var det på gymmet?
Ja, vi har vilorum där, så jag får vila lite.
Ni ordagrant bor där alltså?
Ja, jag bor där.
Ja, det är bekvämt om inte annat. We can send the mic over to you, Ashley. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for showing up. I'm so happy to be here today.
Thanks for having you here. I think everyone wants to know a little bit about how you stay in focus, because you are 3 times Olympia, right?
Yes.
And I think it needs a little bit of focusing to manage to keep up with that. How do you manage to do that?
Well, I think the most important part is setting realistic goals and also knowing when to give your body a rest. I think a big thing with the competitors is I see them go, so hard, and they go 100% for, a little bit longer than they should. So I think giving your body an adequate amount of rest is very important, not only for your body, but for your mind too.
How long do you do dieting for a competition?
I usually start my prep 12 weeks out, but that's depending on how my body looks. I've also done a 6-week prep before too, but it like I said, depends on where my body is at that point.
That's very nice. You're gonna have time to ask some questions, but first we're gonna pass the mic over to Parker so he can say a few words. Good morning to you too. Nice to
morning.
have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I know I asked you yesterday, but a lot of people wasn't here, and I think they wanted to hear a little bit about, you had an injury, a pretty bad injury. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how to stay focused and get back from that?
So about 3 years ago, I had an avulsion tear in my hamstring. It's where the tendon rips off the bone, takes bone with it, and I still have a hamstring that's not even connected. I've had 2 surgeries attached with screws that tied into my pelvis bone. I was in a bed for about 16 weeks, and I couldn't leave the bed for 4 months. And the whole time I was in there, I was really thinking about just getting back into the gym. And so when I was able to get back, I take it really serious, because you never know when something can be taken away from you that you really love, and that really kept me motivated to get right back in the gym as soon as I was able to.
I was wondering, is the diet more important if you're not able to do your workout because of an injury, or?
It is. For those 16 weeks, I really didn't diet per se. I couldn't leave the bed, so I wasn't prepping my food, and at that time our son was a newborn, so my wife wasn't prepping anything for me, but that was not the reason it was so hard to get back into shape. I lost almost 35 pounds just sitting there, and I was eating a lot, but it wasn't the right food. So when I actually was able to get out of bed, I was close to like 180 from 220.
Wow. Yeah, that's hard when you have an injury and cannot stay focused like that. Yeah. We passed the mic over to Jeff again. I want to ask you a little bit about your Instagram, because you have a pretty big crew on Instagram that are following you. 1.6 million followers, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's something very good. How do you do it, and why do you think people want to follow you?
Oh shit. I've been doing social media, for like 4 years or so now. I don't really know why people want to follow me. It doesn't make any sense, I guess, huh? Probably because I do like YouTube videos, and I show that the lifestyle that we can do is we can have fun, healthy. You can still party and have a good time. I don't know.
Did your break on social media, did it gain or drop followers for you to have the break?
No, I think it went up like 100,000 or something.
So that's like something to do. If you want to get more followers, you just be quiet for a few months.
I don't know if I'd recommend it, to be honest. It was good to kind of get my mentality and everything in check, but yeah, if you're trying to build up your social media following, probably not a good idea. But it was good for a personal level.
Yeah. Okay, so Ashley, do you think social media is something important in the fitness industry, the business, or how do you see it?
Well, social media isn't going to help you win a show, but it will help with your branding. And ultimately, if you want to build a brand and you want to have a career in the fitness, promoting yourself, then absolutely social media is very important.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with some questions. Does anyone have any questions for any of our athletes up here? Just raise your hand and we will pick some of you. You can ask about anything, about how they are dieting, how they are training, about anything you want to know. No questions. There we have one question. Just tell us if it's for all of them or one single.
I have a question for all of you, and it's on the topic of a struggle that I'm currently dealing with, and it's about overthinking. You're overthinking your training, and you're thinking for example, on exactly what level of incline should I use the press on to maximize the chest gains? How many grams of salt can I put in my food, in order to not lose any gains? There's these small, minor details. I'd like to know if you struggle with overthinking, how much you overthink, and how you deal with it, if at all.
Okay, so the question is if they do overthink their dieting and training, and if they do
too much overthinking, to the point where you just lose motivation for it.
Okay, we start with you.
Well, I think that all depends on your personality. People that are very organized and very, perfectionist, that might work. I just wing it like I do. Sometimes I just don't count. I just, just go in. Sometimes I'll go to the gym not even knowing what I'm going to train, but just the fact that I'm in there and getting work done is important to me. So I don't overthink things, and that's what keeps me in check, and that's keeps me calmed down and not too stressed out.
Okay, Jeff.
Yeah, honestly, it's not rocket science. A lot of people make out working out and bodybuilding and everything to be super complex. I do think that the little things do add up, and little things will divide someone from being a champion and someone who's not a champion. But, it honestly though, like, especially with bodybuilding, like, you don't achieve greatness overnight, okay? It takes, like, years and years of hard work. So when you do those little things for 10 years straight, it's going to make a difference between someone that trained for 10 years and they didn't do the little things and they kind of, like, half-assed it. So I do think that doing the little stuff, kind of makes a difference. But then again, like you saying, counting, like, sodium and all that kind of stuff, like, that's a little unnecessary, and that's going to kind of stress you out and make the whole journey kind of stressful and not as fun. I mean, yeah, of course, like, it's about the end result and the end goal, but also you got to enjoy the journey as well. So the little things I do think make a big difference in the end.
Okej, jag tar det på svenska. När jag inte preppar för tävling eller plåtning så brukar jag hålla mig till programmering bara. När det kommer till vinklar och sådana små detaljer brukar jag inte tänka på så mycket. Men när det är tävlingsträning och inför tävling då går jag 100% in, och då räknas egentligen allt. Det lilla minsta du gör bättre än de andra kan ju faktiskt ge resultatet eller vinsten. Så jag tycker det är viktigt att hålla koll på och lära känna din kropp och sådär. Så jag kör 100% när det är tävlingsprep.
I wouldn't really say I overthink going to the gym. There are days where, I'm going to the gym, I don't know what I'm going to train, but I always get in my zone once I get there. I put my big headphones on, I zone out, and I really think about what I'm going to train then. And then there are days, I'm going to go hit chest, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. But overthinking it, I don't see myself overthinking it. Pertaining to, like, nutrition, I have a pretty set meal plan, and so I just follow that. So there's really no overthinking that as well. But, like, in the gym, I get in my own zone. I'm quiet. I typically keep a hat on. I say to myself, and I just train. It's just kind of like a therapy.
Thank you. Great answers from all of you. Do we have any more questions? Come on. Okay, no questions. You can chill a little bit and think about what you want to ask, and I will give a question for all of you. You have heard this question before, but I think everyone wants to know. A typical training week for you. How do you work out, and how do you actually schedule your workouts? What's important for you, all of you, one by one?
So, like I was saying about me with my injury, it's really, I'm not supposed to train legs at all because my tendon can rip off that hook at any point, and then I'm back to bed for 16 weeks and more surgeries. But I still do them. I do them on Mondays because nobody trains legs on Mondays. It's always chest day, and then Fridays. I'm hitting chest right now on Tuesdays, arms Wednesdays, back on Thursdays, and shoulders on Saturdays. And typically I take my rest day on Sundays, but I like to do an active rest day. I live out in California, so my wife and son, we'll go out to the beach or we'll go on a hike. We'll do something on Sundays as a family to stay more of like an active rest day, more rather than just sit on the couch and, oh, this is my rest day, I'm not going to do anything today, and just eat my face off.
Do you do any cardio?
Depending on what I'm getting ready for.
And if you do cardio, what type of cardio do you do?
I like walking at an incline and putting my headphones on, just kind of zoning out, and the 20 or 30 minutes is up pretty easily. And if I'm really like trying to get dialed in, I'll incorporate fasted cardio, maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Okay, thank you.
Jag som sagt håller mig till ganska bra programmering. Mitt mål är alltid att bli starkare. Jag vill bli starkare och snabbare. Sen om jag ska tävla i crossfit, då kör jag mer crossfit. Om jag ska plåtas eller tävla inom fitness, då kör jag mer bodybuilding-träning. Men jag håller mig alltid till min programmering, och det är 5 dagar i veckan, tyngdlyftning och styrkelyft. Så fokus för mig är att bli starkare hela tiden. Sen blir man starkare så får man muskler. Sen hur jag tränar per dag, det är väldigt olika. Jag tränar 6-7 dagar i veckan, och det blir väl 2-3 timmar om dagen. Så jag är på gymmet hela dagen, så jag har gott om tid för träning.
Du har en säng där också ifall om du blir trött.
Jag har säng
kan vila upp dig lite.
Ja.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, the big workout question. So on Monday, I do chest Mondays just because lacking group, I want to build up that chest. Also, I'll do triceps on Monday. And then Tuesday, I'll do back and biceps. Wednesday, legs. Thursday, chest and calves. Or no, chest and shoulders. I do calves like probably every other day. Friday I'll do arms, and then Saturday I'll probably do like legs or chest, whatever I'm feeling like.
For me, it differs in the off season and in season. Off season, I won't do any cardio whatsoever. I might be less consistent with my training days in the off season just because of traveling or events or something like that. But I usually like to get about 5 days of weight training in on the off season. In season, same kind of deal, 5 or 6 weight training days, and I'll incorporate also a few sessions of HIIT cardio as well. And usually my weight training sessions last between an hour and a half, and then HIIT cardio probably about 12 to 20 minutes.
While you're talking about HIIT cardio, this is something that is very popular now time, that everyone is talking about HIIT and they're talking about high intensity cardio instead of the low intensity. How do you guys, all of you, see about the cardio thing? Do you prefer the low intensity cardio or the higher intensity, and how do you see on that question? When do you use it? Because this is a question everyone is asking now.
I think HIIT cardio is great because it takes less time and you're burning a good amount of calories while doing it. I think it's, for me, more exciting, so I'm not just, staring at one thing or doing one thing like a consistent, 40 minutes of treadmill or whatever. I mean, every once in a while I will put in one of those days if I'm feeling like it, but I like sticking with my HIIT cardio.
Okay, so when it comes to cardio, I like to be like a functional athlete, so I'm all kind of about being like functional and staying athletic and stuff, so I'll do cardio like year round. I prefer doing probably high intensity over steady rate, but I feel like steady rate is a little bit more boring, but I mean, when you're like prep for a competition or something, it's going to burn less muscle by doing steady rate compared to like high intensity interval training. But yeah, I usually do cardio like year round.
Ja, jag tycker att allt över 6 repetitioner är cardio för mig. Så jag blir trött av det. Men jag kör cardio, jag kör crossfit som cardio. Jag tycker att hög intensitet är väldigt bra. Det ökar faktiskt uthålligheten i musklerna. Men vill man lära kroppen att transportera bort mjölksyra så behöver du träna långdistans. Så det är också bra för att bygga muskler. Så långdistansträning är faktiskt bra. Lite låg intensitet skulle jag säga är bra någon gång i veckan.
Så en mix mellan båda?
Jag mixar faktiskt. Jag kör långdistans för att få bättre syreupptagningsförmåga och hög intensitet för att jobba med mjölksyra.
So I do agree with Jeff. The steady rate cardio is definitely more boring, but when I do it, I just kind of zone out. Luckily, the treadmill I have, there's a TV right in front, so I'll watch the news right when I wake up or right after my workout. I will do HIIT training, but if I do it, it's typically on the stairs, and if I do it, it's like once, maybe twice a week if I'm really trying to get ready for something.
Thank you. Okay, so anyone? There we have a question over there.
Alright, I'll make it as general as I can, so you can escape it if you don't want to answer. But mostly to the boys, what are your thoughts on steroids? Is it something you're planning to take or not?
If you're gonna do it, make sure you're knowledgeable enough to go through with it. And I don't know. I guess it's everybody's own opinion and up to their own discretion if they want to do it or not.
Jag har alltid varit emot steroider, men i vissa länder är det mer lagligt och i andra är det mindre lagligt. Om man ska tävla så ska man hålla sig borta från sånt, tycker jag. I vissa tävlingar ingår det. Jag kan inte säga så mycket mer om det. Alla vet om det, eller de flesta vet om det. Jag tycker man ska hålla sig borta och träna rent.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to steroids, if you're gonna try to be like Mr. Olympia, like Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath or something, obviously those guys, you have to take steroids to get there. But if you're just gonna be like an average Joe and take steroids, I think it's kind of stupid and pointless. I mean, there's no reason to really take them if you're just gonna live an everyday normal life. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's your decision, so you can do whatever you want to do.
I guess we'll talk on the subject anyway. Well, I'm a bikini girl, and I guess it doesn't apply to me as much, but I do get asked, believe it or not, a lot if I take anything illegal, and I can guarantee you I don't take anything that's not sold at a nutrition store. My feelings on people who do, I mean, whatever, you can do whatever you want to your body, but just coming from me personally, I don't. So I can't give much more input on that because I'm very unknowledgeable on the subject, but...
Any other questions? One over there.
When it comes to building up your strength, how would you set up your sets and rep sets?
So sets and reps to gain strength.
Okay, so when it comes to gaining strength, it's all about progressive overload. You're not gonna be able to build up like a 400-pound bench press overnight. You gotta have to like slowly, gradually build your way up. So pretty much what progressive overload is like 1 week you'll do 185 pounds for like 10 reps. Next week you'll do 190 pounds for 10 reps, and then you'll slowly, gradually build up your strength by doing it like that. And then like after 10 years or something, you'll be bench pressing like 500 pounds.
När jag ska bygga upp styrka så använder jag mig av tyngdlyftarmetoden, ryska metoden. Så jag kör få reps, tunga vikter, och så har jag låga och höga veckor. Så vissa veckor kör jag tungt och vissa veckor kör jag lite lättare, upp max till 6 repetitioner. De veckorna jag kör 6 reps, det är lite viloveckor. Det blir lite så att nervsystemet får återhämta sig, skelettet får återhämta sig lite, och musklerna. Och de tunga veckorna då provocerar man nervsystemet ordentligt och försöker gå på 1 eller 2 år ganska tungt. Men det tar, som sagt, som jag sa, ganska lång tid att bygga upp de här, och man får följa en program så man vet att man går efter procent av din max hela tiden, så att inte du försöker hitta något på nätet och följa Jeffs träningsprogram eller hans vikter.
Okay. Do you have any more questions? You have one?
This is a question for every one of you, and it's what gives you motivation to keep going on training and all that?
Motivation, let's see. I guess it's like, this comes from like an inner drive, you know, to kind of want to achieve the best that you can do for yourself. I think motivation kind of depends like on the person. People find motivation through different things. Me personally, I guess I find motivation by just trying to be the best version of myself. Yep.
Well, for me, I can say that one of my biggest fears in life, well, I have 2 fears in life, and, well, 3. One is choking on steak at a restaurant in public. That's my first one. And my second one is growing old. And then my third one is being average. I cannot stand the thought of being average. Like, ever since I was very small, I always wanted to be the best. I wanted to beat all the boys in gym class. I wanted to do the most chin-ups, the most push-ups. I wanted to win the spelling bee. I just always had this drive that I think that for most of us, we are given a pretty good life, I'd say, and you can pretty much, take whatever it is in life that you're good at and, just roll with it and improve on it and be awesome and amazing at it. So I think that we're all given a great opportunity here. I mean, if you're here even listening to us, you have a great opportunity to just be the best version of you possible, and you have the ability to be more than just average.
Ja, min motivation, det är de här grabbarna och alla som tävlar, och jag följer alla på Instagram, jag följer alla på YouTube. Jag försöker hitta motivation inom alla olika möjliga kategorier. Tyngdlyftning, mensfysik, bodybuilding, allt. Friidrott. Så jag kollar på de bästa och försöker hitta motivation i allt. Jag kollar på tyngdlyftartjejerna som väger 60-65 kilo, som är starkare än mig. Så de försöker jag slå.
I guess I get my motivation from a few different ways. I've been thinking about that answer. I guess the number one is I have a 4-year-old son, and I don't ever want to look at him in the face and say, "Daddy's a quitter." So I push hard every single day to make sure I can do the best for him and give him the best life possible.
Okay, more questions? No question? Over here we have.
It's for Ashley. What's your favorite dessert?
Your favorite dessert?
Okay, my favorite dessert is pancakes. And I'm not talking about like protein pancakes. I mean like the real deal, like the kind even with candy chunks in it. Oh, and like whipped cream, butter. It's my favorite.
Yummy. Is that what you are having after your competitions?
Well, everybody always asks me, what are you going to have for a cheat meal after a show? And I'm like, man, I just want to shower and sleep. I'll get breakfast in the morning. I just want to sleep.
And then it's pancakes.
And then pancakes.
Yeah. Okay, more questions. You can ask whatever you want. Over there again.
How do you deal with lagging muscle groups, during the week? How do you deal with them?
I think we didn't hear you.
How do you deal with lagging muscle groups?
Is this a general question? Okay. Well, I like to hit anything that is lagging at me twice a week. So for me, shoulders, I hit those a few times a week just because I know it's not one of my strong points. And we all have weak points. Nobody's perfect. So I just keep improving on that and, just hit them twice as hard.
Okay, 2 words. Priority training. Okay, if you have a lacking muscle group, you're gonna have to like really focus on that muscle group. So like, let's say your calves are your weak point. At the beginning of your workout, you train calves. Okay, you don't train at the end of your workout when you're tired. You train at the beginning when you're fresh and ready to go. It doesn't matter what muscle group it is, either legs, shoulders, chest, calves, whatever. Priority training, that's like the number one thing.
Ja, det är ganska enkelt. Det är prioritet som man säger. Sen får man ju hålla koll på lite, ifall man är axeldominant till exempel så kan man få sämre utveckling i bröstmuskeln eller tvärtom. Så då får man kanske träna mindre axlar och mer bröst eller tvärtom ifall man har underutvecklade axlar och bättre bröstmuskler kanske man får kompensera lite där. Så det gäller att, som man säger, prioritera de muskler som man ska träna.
So I definitely agree with Jeff, and I feel like I'm my own worst critic because I preach it, but I hate training my core. And I always say, I'm gonna start off by training core, or I'll do it at the end of the workout once I'm already in my workout, and it just once I'm done with my workout, I'm beat. I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. But there are lots of days I get to the gym, I'm like, all right, I'm training core first, and once you do it first, then you can go on with the rest of your workout. So I definitely agree. Like your lacking parts, do those first, get those out of the way, and then go on with the body parts that you're not lacking.
We had this object yesterday about the core and the abs and everything, and can each one of you say what you think is the best way to get a six-pack? Because I think you talked about this yesterday, and it's a very good point that it's not about only training with low intensity.
The whole thing, the abs are made in the kitchen. I believe it. You can train your abs all day long, but if your nutrition's not there, and if you're just putting crap in your body, you're not going to see your abs. So I train them, but not as much as I should. But I'm really strict on my nutrition.
Ja, det är kosten som gäller dig, för alla har ju magrutor. Det är bara om man får bort fettet ovanför så kommer de synas. Sen tycker jag man ska träna det varannan dag. Man ska ge muskeln, även magmusklerna, vila. Om man tränar dem varannan dag så funkar det.
Okay, yeah, Parker was spot on when he said that. Like, abs are definitely made in the kitchen. I mean, you could do like 10,000 crunches a day. If you got a layer of fat covering the abs, you're never going to see them. I do think that doing ab exercises, they build up your abs. They're going to make them like bulge out more and look thicker. And they're obviously a muscle group, so they're going to make them bigger. But again, yeah, if you have like a layer of fat covering your abs, you're not going to see them. So that's where cardio comes into play, diet, body fat. Yeah, it's really important when trying to like really focus on your abs. But yeah, definitely made in the kitchen, bro.
I also agree abs are made in the kitchen. Also, you need to pay attention as well how genetically you're made up in the ab area, because that will also like determine how often you have to train abs and how you should train them. I know ladies out here, you don't want a thick waist. try to avoid side bends and stuff like that. And I also get the question a lot as well, do I waist train? I don't waist train. I'm fortunate enough to be born with a pretty small waist, but I do wear a weight belt when I'm training legs.
So when you have the mic, I'm gonna ask you, you're gonna have a workshop here with posing. And do you think posing, how important do you think it is to practice your posing if you want to compete in bikini?
It's very important. You can have the best body on stage, but if you don't know how to display it correctly, you're not going to get anywhere. Posing, it is one of the criteria that the judges are looking for. So definitely very important.
And how much time do you put on your...
I'll probably start posing practice about 8 weeks out, and I'll do it once or twice a week for an hour.
Okay. Some more questions. We just have 10 more minutes.
Yeah, I have.
So if you have any questions, you over there.
Hi there. Hi everyone. First of all, I want to thank all of you who are in this fitness industry. So I have been following all of you almost like from the past couple of months. So I have a questions about is it really possible to gain muscles and to gain and to burn fat at the same time? Someone says no, it's not, but the other says yeah, it is. So I'm kind of stuck in this like situation.
So it's a question for all of
them?
Yeah,
I think it's a question for Jeff. Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
So he can.
But I think that's a pretty good thing to discuss if everyone has something to say.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see. So like scientifically, I don't know if you're in like a caloric deficit, I don't know if you can build muscle. Personally, I feel like if I'm like, training really hard, contest prep for like competition, like I feel like I can put muscle on, but scientific wise, I don't know if it's possible.
Det finns olika studier som visar både att man inte kan bygga och att man kan bygga. Så det gäller att välja vilken studie man vill tro på. Och självklart har lite placebo i det. Ifall man tror på det så kan det funka. Men jag har själv känt när jag har gått på diet att jag har kunnat lägga på mig lite muskler. Jag vet inte ifall det bara sitter i huvudet, men så känns det i alla fall.
Like scientifically, I don't know if it's a yes or no. I know with me, when I'm prepping for something, I do gain more weight while losing body fat, but in the same breath, I'm switching my macros drastically. I'm eating a lot more food, but I'm also doing more cardio, so I think that counterbalances it. But I don't know how to answer whether it's a yes or a no. I feel like there's a fine line with who you are, how you train, and maybe your genetics as well.
Ashley, do you want to answer the question as well?
I think it is possible, but you have to be very careful, keep your protein high, and not cut your calories too quickly all at once. Also, I guess it depends on the person as well. I do lose some muscle when I start to lean out. I can tell I flatten out easily. So I guess depending on the person, it could be possible, but it is hard though.
Okay, so a following question on this topic. When you're gonna compete, this is for all of you, compete or do a photo shoot or anything, while you're doing your bulk, are you counting on losing muscles when you're dieting, so you're gaining more weight, or are you thinking about not losing muscles? Is it in your calculation to lose muscles while dieting?
I guess I don't look at it that closely, but I'm in a different boat. I'm bikini, so it's not like I really have a bulking season. I try to stay pretty consistent throughout the year. Obviously, my weight will go up because it's hard to keep that, going for a long period of time. But I'm in my off season right now, so I don't really calculate anything like that. I just try to keep things reasonable.
What was the question?
If you, when you're gonna do dieting, are you counting on losing muscles when you're bulking?
Yeah, when I diet, definitely I want to preserve as much muscle as possible. But to be honest, yeah, when you're dieting for a competition, you're gonna lose me, when I started my bulk, I was at 225 pounds. Right now, competition yesterday, I'm 190 pounds. So that's 35 pounds. Obviously, that's some fat, some water weight, and that's going to be some muscle weight too. So yeah, I mean, of course, you want to like keep as much muscle as possible, but you're going to lose some.
Jag går ungefär 10 kilo mellan off-season och on-season, så jag räknar inte med att jag ska förlora någon muskelmassa. Jag ska försöka till och med lägga på mig lite under den tiden. Jag äter faktiskt mer mat under dieten än vad jag gör när jag inte dietar. Jag äter väldigt mycket skräp. Och det blir mycket mer glass äter jag.
I guess I don't worry about losing too much muscle mass or even the scale. Like, I don't really like stepping on a scale too often, because if the number is lower than what I think, it's a mind game for me, and it like messes up my workout. So I tend to stay away from the scale, but I know that when I'm getting ready for a shoot or whatever I'm getting ready for, and I'm leaning out and drying out, I know I'm going to lose some weight, and that's just part of the game.
Okay, thank you. So I think we have time for like 2 more questions. Over there we have one.
What do you think are the biggest misconception when it comes to nutrition? Like somebody telling you should eat 10 chickens a day to get big.
I didn't hear. Did you hear the question?
What is the biggest misconception when it comes to nutrition? Like somebody telling you to eat like 10 chickens a day to get super big.
Okay. Is it for all of them? A question? Okay.
I think the biggest misconception is people tend to think that whatever works for me will work for you. It'll work for you, and etc. And it's not. You have to learn your body. You have to find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And there's going to be a lot of trial and error. And I think people really get stuck on, oh, well, he did this, so I'm going to do that as well, and it's going to work the same for me. And that's not true.
Som man säger, att man får hitta något som passar en. Allt funkar inte för alla. Man får hitta, vissa funkar bättre med fett och kolhydrater, vissa funkar bättre med mer proteiner. Så man får testa sig fram lite och hitta det som passar en. Jag tror många tar och plockar kostprogram från nätet och så försöker de följa det. Många räknar alldeles för mycket kalorier, och jag tycker inte man ska haka upp sig lite på kalorier, för ingen har egentligen en aning om hur mycket ni förbränner exakt per dag på grund av den mängden ni rör er och så jag tycker inte man ska haka upp sig på kalorier, och det är många som gör det. Så istället hitta en balans och försöka att hitta något som passar för dig.
All right, the biggest misconception coming to nutrition. Let's see, probably like clean eating. Honestly, like people think that you need to like kill yourself mentally for months on end, having to eat like very clean the whole time. I feel like that kind of like makes the journey not as fun, and also yeah, I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference. Like I'll do if you ever heard of like if it fits your macros, I'll count my calories on like MyFitnessPal, and like I have found that like eating less processed food and stuff has like had an effect on my diet when like dieting, especially through like water retention and sodium and stuff. But I mean, when you're like 2 months out from a competition, like if you eat like, I don't know, you have like a little bit over your like calorie intake, it's not gonna like really totally make you like totally off point. So yeah, you don't have to like eat clean and like really like destroy yourself mentally the whole time, but yeah.
I would say that, yeah, not every diet works for everybody. You got to, see how a certain diet reacts to not only your body, but also your lifestyle as well. For example, do I think if it fits your macros works? I do, but I couldn't do it because I'm extremely unorganized and I hate math and I hate keeping track of all that. So I'm just, I'm kind of more of an intuitive eater, as in like I don't really know what the next meal is. It's what I'm craving, but I keep it reasonable. But then again, for what I do, it's a little different than these guys. They don't have to get so lean and to the point. But I do, I guess, try to just keep things reasonable and keep sane about things. Obviously, when I'm closer to show, I'll be more consistent, have a better idea of what I'm eating and such. But I guess I'll take a look in the mirror, see, what I need to improve on. Do I need to lean out? Do I need to fill out a little bit more? And that will determine how I will eat. And I don't like to weigh myself either, because again, it's a mental game and it just messes you up.
Thank you. Okay, so the last question. Who is going to have the last question?
This is for Jeff. How did you start your fitness journey?
What's up, bro? So, let's see, I started lifting weights when I was like 11. I started for sports, You know, I wanted to get stronger, gain an athletic edge over my competition. You know, after about like 6 months or so, I saw results in my physique. Started getting pretty aesthetic, and you know, kind of just fell in love with it after that. So then, like, started, you know, just from a weight set for Christmas. Now I'm competing on like the Olympia stage and stuff. I mean, that was probably like beginning of my journey, like that. But yeah, I just fell in love with it now, and yeah.
Thank you. And thank you so much for taking your time and answer these questions and everything. And some of you we're going to see in the afternoon as well.